It's finally here. My new Aquatronica touch controller kit. Boy. I've been using Aquatronica controllers now for over 10 years, and my previous model is still going strong, not a glitch after 8 years now. I haven't had to touch anything with it. And the new touch has been out now for about 2 years, I think. And time just felt right to get one. And I'd really like to thank Massimo and Erico at aquatronicastore.com, which is the new Canadian US dealer for Aquatronica, and Ashkan for his help. And as I said, I had a few conversations with Massimo and from Aquatronica in Italy, and I decided I'd do a video on it, so you guys could see what you get with the kit and so forth. Now these come in 3 or 4 different models, package systems. One is just the basic controller like this, which if you just get that, you can just drop in, replace it with your existing controller system. So you can take out your older Aquatronica controller, put this in, it basically will replace hook up to your power bars, everything, and you'll be good to go. But this works out at a lot better deal buying it this way. I think these are like $700 and something versus like 400 and something for this alone, because you get a power bar, you get pH, ORP, level sensors, temperature sensors, salinity probe. So when you add it all up, if your system is getting a bit old in the tooth and you need to probably start changing out probes, this might be the better solution for you, and it was the better solution for me for sure. Plus having a spare power bar is great. So I'm not doing an unboxing videos or boring. I'm just gonna open it up. I've opened it before, but I'm gonna spread everything out on the table and let you see what comes with this kit. Wow, so here it is, all in one shot. Everything that came out of that box. And a lot of parts there that you can see. Where to start? On the left you can see the power bar. These are the interface modules, the probes, the controller itself, power supply, float level sensor, cables at the back, probe holders. The behind the controller is the braces for the power bar, so you can mount it on the wall. And then over there is the adapters for the power supply. Aquatronica's whole system is very friendly towards countries that use 220, 110 volt. They have all different kind of plug adapters that come in their kits, so they can basically work anywhere in the world. So that's just looking at it all spread out. Let me show you more of it closer up so you can see exactly each part in detail. Okay, here's the power bar, and with the kit you get one, yes. With my current aquarium system I use 2. I have 5 level sensors, water level sensors, 2 water leakage sensors, dosing pumps, Ethernet module, SMS module, 2 temperature sensors, pH probe, ORP, redox, trying to think if there's anything else I'm missing here. I have basically the whole system. So this is a great starter kit. If you're just getting into it, you don't want to get too overwhelmed. You can add as you go along. Now, Aquatronica was one of the first companies, the very first company I know of, that started a modular system whereby you could chain several power bars together. Each set of probes and modules were connected to the power units, and nothing was centralized to the controller itself. A lot of the old controllers always used to use every wire would connect, and you'd have dedicated, this was a temperature probe would go here, the salinity probe would go here, the pH probe would go over here, and so when you ran out, you were just out of luck. You couldn't expand any further. Aquatronica came along with this USB, well, it's not actually USB, but it uses a USB type cable system where you could actually just assign a port, address it, and you could keep expanding by daisy chaining more and more of these. You can use 10 power bars, I think, and I don't know how many different sensors you can put on it, but quite a bit, like 30 or something different sensors. But I'll find out and get back into more in detail. It has 8 plugs here. One of these is missing here, the cap. These are basically for temperature probes and for level sensor controls. This port here is for the older Aquatronica system. So you would plug the control head from the older system into here, and that's how that was powered and communicated with the power bars. And each of these is a USB port, but as I say, it's not a true USB port. Don't plug a USB device in here; it'll blow something up. But it uses the same type of connector, and it's hard to make a mistake because the cables that come with the Aquatronica are very different from normal USB in that both sides are this kind of connector, which normally you don't find. You only find one side, and the other side is some other mini USB or some other kind of connector. But with the Aquatronica cables, both sides are like this. So that's pretty hard to screw that up. Second thing with these, what was very unique to Aquatronica back in the old days was that each of these power bars are intelligent. They have basically their own processor or whatever going on inside of there. But I can tell you this, if the controller stops working, if this stops working and goes dead, these function on their own. They will turn on the lights at 8 o'clock in the morning, turn them off at 8 o'clock at night. It is amazing how it will keep everything running even though this unit could be removed. This is basically an interface just to keep this programmed, and this will run on its own once it's programmed. The only problem is it doesn't keep, the time goes slightly off every day, which is not a major problem when you're having an emergency. So what if the tank turns on 15 minutes later, 3 days later? While you're waiting for a replacement or something, your system is still running. And that's one of the backup features I always loved of Aquatronica. Now the probes here, this one I just took temporarily out. I don't want it to dry out too long. We basically have a pH here, a salinity probe, and the redox probe. And these probes I have found, well, pH lasts about a year, year and a half, depending on the conditions you have it in, how much circulation, too much water flow, they tend to go quicker. Too much light or whatever can grow algae on them, disintegrate them quicker. The salinity probes I get about 2.5 years out of, and they're dead accurate until almost the time they expire. Redox about the same, 1.5 years like the pH. These are the interface modules, so the probes plug into here, and then from here USB port goes over to here. So that's that. These are basically, well, this is the stand for the aquarium, for the controller. This is the covers for each of the modules, which I'll show you in a minute. A standard temperature probe here. You typically would have one on an aquarium, sometimes two. This is a power supply unit, which is used in this case to power the controller itself. But other things like the dosing pump, the SMS module, they'll use the same power supplies. A couple other things will use these same little power supplies to power them separately. This is a float switch, a level sensor, and basically level sensor kit. These are your power bar, these are your probe holders, 3 of them, Ethernet cable, USB cables ×3, the plug adapters, and over here is, this should be over here, is another cover kit for the sensors here to cover them up. So that's basically what you get, and I printed out the manual. Here, and it's a good idea to always have that with you. So that basically gives you an idea of what comes with the Aquatronica touch controller kit, the deluxe kit. And as I said, you can look online and you can see what each kit comes with. So now I'm going to show you how to put this all together and how to program.